Hello, this video is going to cover the Financial Reports tab and all of the information we can gather from that. So I have opened up the spreadsheet to the Bookkeeping System tab just so that you can see that I have added in a bunch of extra information in here just so that we have something good to look at over on the financial reports. Okay, so we're going to click over to financial reports and we're going to see that there is data populated in here. And as I've said before, this pulls automatically from the Bookkeeping System tab. You don't have to do anything to get this information in here, which is awesome. Okay, the profit and loss statement is a common report for all businesses. You can review it at the end of every month, end of every quarter, or end of every year. What I want to point out is that there is no filter capability for time periods. So if you want to capture your report information for the end of a month or the end of a quarter, you'll want to make sure that all of your data is entered and reconciled for that time period. And then you're going to want to just print this report and save it, or save it as a PDF. You don't have to print it on paper. But that way, that end of time period data has been captured, and you do have access to it. Okay. Now we will go ahead and look at the profit and loss statement in detail. The top of the profit and loss statement is your income. So we have on line 5, sales of products, line 6, sales of services. Then we have interest income and other. Interest income is the income that you receive for an interest-bearing account. So like your checking account or a savings account. You may not have anything to put in here. If you don't have an interest-bearing account, that's okay. It can be a 0. But you do want to keep interest income separate from your sales information. So that is why we have that option in here. This other sales also may always be 0 for you, but I like to have an option in case you have a one-off scenario where you aren't quite sure where to put that information. So other sales, I wouldn't recommend using it all the time, but it is there in case you need it. Okay, let's scroll down to our expenses. Now, this is the entire list. It's all of the options, but you can see some of them do have 0s. That's also okay. If you don't have an expense in that category, it's just going to be 0. And you don't need to worry about deleting it off of the report. It's totally fine as it is as a 0. So if you are a business and where you never hire a contract laborer, this will just always be 0 for you. And that's totally okay. So if you look at something on this report and you think, I don't know what that is, that number looks wrong, or I don't remember that purchase, I'm going to show you a way to find out the detail of this information. So let's say that we're looking at our advertising and we think $200 doesn't sound right. We want to know what that $200 is. We're going to go back to the Bookkeeping System tab. And up here where it says data, we're going to click on data and we're going to go to filter views and we're going to choose the one that says first 50K filter. And when you click on that, this dark gray line bar is going to come up and these little lines on the top of every column are going to appear. So this is the button we want to push to filter on our categories. So if I want to know what are my advertising transactions, I'm going to click on that button. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to show you how I do it quickly. I'm going to clear so that none of them are checked. And then I'm going to come down to advertising, or the one I wanted to look at, and check it and then click OK. And what's going to happen is now my spreadsheet is only showing me transactions for that thing that I have filtered on. So I can see easily that I had 2 transactions on January 31st for advertising, both on my Visa, both on $100. So I might say to myself, is this a duplicate transaction? Did I really spend $200, or is one of these incorrect? And then you can do a little research and find out for yourself if you have good information in there or not. So when we want to turn off the filter, you want to click on this button and come back down here again and click select all, and then click OK. And now all of your data will appear in here again. The same thing is true if you say, I want to look at all of the income I received from Amy Smith. So I can click on this filter here. Again, go down here and click clear all, or clear, and then find Amy Smith and put her check mark next to her, and then click OK. And now I can see that Amy Smith also has paid me twice. And I can see what those transactions are as well, and decide if those are accurate. Maybe I feel like I forgot one, or that I put an extra one in. Again, when you want to turn off the filter, you need to click this button again, and then click select all, and then click OK. Now, if you don't want the filter to be on at all, you'll need to come back up to data, go to filter views, and click none. And that will take the filter view away. So that is a really good way of seeing the detail from our financial reports, so that we can see or find errors or find detail for what that amount is. Okay, and then over here, I'm just going to go over this very quickly. This is a summary of what you have paid yourself. So owner withdraw is every time you have paid yourself or purchased something that was of a personal nature using your business accounts. We do talk about that a little bit in the digital training manual and what happens in that scenario. So go ahead and read that. But this is a great summary to find out how much you have paid yourself as the owner of the company and how much money you have invested into the business. So this would be money coming from your personal account and being deposited into your business account. And those transaction types are all detailed in the digital training manual. All right, I think that's everything for the financial reports tab. Let's move on to the next video.